So first of all, before moving ahead with the webinar, let me quickly go over the legal disclaimer suggesting here on screen that all content presented here is purely for educational purposes. I'm not soliciting any buy or sell. If you guys go on to use the views presented here for your trading or investing, then you yourselves will be liable for your profits, loss or loss of profits. So gold is a bit of what do I call literally a complex structure here, right? So let me try to see how much we can cover, because complex structures take a lot of time and a lot of discussion to clarify. So basically speaking, gold looks to have what we just discussed in the last discussion: a W, a X, and a Y. Okay. So in gold chart, we have the W here, the X here, and the Y here, right? This is what we call in Elliott wave a double zigzag, right? Now keep in mind, we are trying to cover the actual implementation on the chart. So I will not be able to go into exact details of every structure, but a WXY basically looks like this. The W will have, one second, W will have an A down, a B up, and a C down, right? Followed by a connecting wave X, followed by another A down, B up, and C down, right? So that is the rough structure of a WXY correction. In this particular case, we have the A down, B up, C down, followed by connecting wave X, followed by an A down, a B up, and a C down here. Maybe this is, oh, okay, yeah, this was the low. I think I have marked it, so let's check. Yeah, so this is the low, right? Now the possibilities of further movement, and I was saying complex because the thing is that this structure, the W, the X, and the Y, it can further expand from a double to a triple zigzag, right? If it's a triple zigzag, then it will have another connecting wave X and another A, B, and C leg down. So now that we are aware that such a thing as a triple zigzag exists, that basically means we can have another connecting wave X and another leg down, right? So that's our hypo 1, H1. Second hypothesis, H1 is basically suggesting downward movement, right? Second hypothesis is that this is the Y complete and this is an impulse in the upside direction. So let's quickly have a look if this is the Y complete over here, right? So as we discussed earlier, an impulsive move in the upside direction will look something like this, right? 1 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 down, and 5 up, right? And if let's assume we have the 1 here and 2 here, roughly speaking, then we will have a wave 3 under progression, right? And I mentioned previously that Elliott waves are fractal in nature, right? So that basically means this wave 3 will have 5 waves of itself within it, right? So that is to say, if we magnify this wave 3, you will have something like this inside it, right? So I'm representing the inner waves using Roman. So that means this could be your 1, this could be your 2, this could be followed by a wave 3 up, right? So here what we observe is we have two completely contradicting scenarios. Remember, H1 was suggesting downward movement, saying that this was an X here, right? Probably I should use different colors. That would make things more clear. So let's take our H1 and represent it on this chart, right? And H1 is suggesting more downside. Okay, that's your H1. Second scenario, let's take the color white for it. Second scenario is suggesting H2 is suggesting upward movement. And H2 is what? H2 is an impulse up. So now that we put both of these analyses on the actual chart, this was the Roman one and this was the Roman 2, because the wave 3 was continuing to the upside, will be followed by a Roman 3, a Roman 4 and a Roman 5. So anywho's, now that we have put both of these analyses on the actual chart, we realize that both H1 and H2 are completely contradictory, right? Yes or no? I would like some response from the audience at this point, because this is a sort of crucial point to understand. Okay. So Harsh, Varun are saying yes. I believe rest of the audience also is understanding. Chetna, Madhav, thank you, Amal, thank you, Ashwin, for the feedback. So now that we have two views and both of these are contradictory, that basically means we don't have a trade in this chart. In crude oil, at least we had a bias that most likely the market is towards H1 and H2, which was up. In this case, it is completely contradictory. There is no overlapping move. There is no sideways move. It is just saying either it will possibly go up or either it will possibly go down. So that means this is a wait and watch scenario, right? This is a market which we will just leave for a while, right? This is 4-hour chart, so we will probably have to leave it for a few sessions. And after the few sessions, there will be more bars on it, which will clarify which of these two hypotheses is most likely following. Remember now one more important point here. It is not always like the H1 and H2 while true are the only H1 only hypothesis. Sometimes as the market proceeds in time, it might give a hypothesis or a formation which we had not previously spotted, right? So from the knowledge we have so far and analysis I have done, we currently are in the scenario of wait and watch. That's basically our analysis on gold. So at this point, I can take questions because we sort of have discussed whatever we had for the chart of gold. And I already seem to have a lot of questions here. So Vishal is asking if price causes 1890. Let's see, 1890 is over here.